DJ, you go crazy.
DJUTV, let them know who we got in the building.
We got Steve, exclusive 773, in the building.
Steve, what you on, gang?
You're out here, we're getting ready for the turkey drive. We're on our 10th annual this Sunday. The biggest and best one ever.
10 years. Serving the community, 10 years in a row.
Yeah, my boy Fatel's the one who inspired me to start doing it because he had an event in Englewood at Ogden Park, and I contributed back then, some turkeys, and I'm like, damn, this is really dope. I've seen, the people's reactions, and it's just a lot of genuine love, and ever since then, I've been doing it every year since.
So, to serve the Chicago community for 10 years in a row, every year for Thanksgiving, tell us some of the challenges you've had so far with it.
I mean, there's a lot, honestly. Funding's a huge problem. Obviously, turkeys ain't free. Trucks are not free. Sometimes buying turkeys, because there's a shortage, even if you got money, sometimes you can't even just buy it. Like, yo, I need 100 turkeys or 500 turkeys. People can't provide it. It's a lot, to be honest with you. Storage is an issue, because now I start collecting turkeys. Where am I going to store them? Where am I going to put them? How am I going to move them around? Am I going to have 1,000 people show up? There's a lot of obstacles for the turkey drive. Even I don't have a permit half of the times too. Like, that was an issue one year. Like, well, you don't have a permit to have blocks of people to hand out food. I'm like, you know what, fuck it. If they're gonna lock me up for helping out people, then lock me up. Like, I don't, they're not doing shit for us anyways, the aldermen. So
right.
I was like, with or without them, we're gonna make it happen.
For sure. So tell us about yourself, Steve. Are you from Chicago?
Yes, I'm born and raised South Side. I grew up by Marquette Park, and then I lived by Fort City Mall in my teen years. I'm half Greek and Palestinian. Dropped out of school 15. Started working 61st and King Drive, 16 to 17. And then I was on 63rd and Laughlin for a year. And then I moved to Minnesota for 5 years. Came back, and then I got involved with Exclusive.
Word. You gave us the journey real quick. And we all know you from Exclusive 773. So tell us, how did that start?
Well, the store name was Exclusive Communication.
Okay.
The 773 came in later on with my screen name. So at first that was just a screen name for the PlayStation 2 and Twitter, back in the day. So when Instagram came out, I was just posting, like work stuff, and then my personal life, like mixing the two. So as time went on, people thought the store name was Exclusive 773.
Right.
It wasn't. And it's so crazy because different businesses open up throughout the country. Like, I inspired people to open up an Exclusive with an area code in different parts of the country.
Like an 857, I feel like I saw that before.
Well, no, that used to be the store page.
Okay.
There's a Exclusive 502 and 973.
Okay.
Then there's a 414.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So Exclusive 773 started out as your social media handle, and then it became the store name.
It just came like a landmark for the store.
Right, okay. Tell us about the store, though. What type of products were you all selling out the store?
So in the beginning, it was just a cell phone store. And when I came back to Chicago, we started getting into fashion, and then I added tobacco back in the day. So I was like, man, look, I'll sell anything. I don't care. If it's making money, we're selling bootlegs, we're selling loose squares. And then as time went on, it's we became more premium. So it's we went from having just $5 white tees to having $200-300 t-shirts, or having inventory of $200,000-300,000 versus having $15,000. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it definitely transitioned and grew over the years.
And as far as the team or partnership behind it, was it you and some of your family members or friends?
No, it was a childhood friend. He got me on board. And, he kind of just let me freestyle it however I wanted to freestyle it. And I did. I just kept thinking of ways to stay relevant and stand out. And I'm very big on customer service. That's biggest thing in business. I want to treat people with respect. I don't give a fuck if you spend $1, you spend $1,000. You know, like I want you to feel like how I want to feel. You feel me? So everybody's like always taken care of. You know, you could feel like you're the man spending $30 or you're the man spending $3,000. Like, so I was always big on that.
Now, somewhere along the lines, man, you became popular amongst a lot of the Chicago rappers, especially during the peak of the drill era. We've seen big name rappers like Lil Durk at Exclusive 773, G Herbo, Lil Bibby. We could really name everybody.
Yeah,
you know.
Anybody who blew up in the past 10 years,
they've been at Exclusive.
Has been there or had something there. You know, I did album releases for Lupe Fiasco. I did for Lil Durk's first album. I did for Chief Keef's album. I helped up and coming artists, and you know, back then they were doing mixtapes, so I was passing out mixtapes, letting them shoot videos in the store. So we all were helping each other, honestly.
For sure. Who was the first rapper that you were able to build a relationship with?
The first person I started with, honestly, well, he's not a rapper, was a producer, was like Young Chop.
Okay.
Because he was from the area. So Chop was his family, all the family used to come by me. They used to buy squares, and it led from Chop to Louis and then Fredo Santana. So Fredo's the one that put me in tune with like Keef and all them. And then Dirk got on board because when I had a show with Yo Gotti, they're like, yo, you know, Lil Durk hit me up. I'm like, damn, like, he's like, I want to open up for Gotti because we were doing a show back then at Adriana's. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, like. Right. You know, I was a fan of Lil Durk already.
Right. Because
back then I'm on Fake Shore Drive or whatever mixtape websites, you know, checking out new Chicago music. Mm-hmm. And then that's how I built a relationship with Durk and them from back then.
And with Durk came French Montana, right? He brought French Montana to the store, right?
We met French, yeah, through Durk. At that time, we were pressing up shirts. So we used to do the OTF shirts. Okay. And then we did the OTF Coke Boys. We used to do Team 600 shirts. We did shirts for like a lot of collabs with everybody. Mm-hmm. But as time went on, you know, ain't nobody waiting for a motherfucking heat press to get a T-shirt.
Right, right. So besides, you know, being notarized and popular, you know, amongst like hood legends, right? What was some of the other success, you know, you was having over on 87 and Vincennes?
I mean, I felt really good to put people in position and help them. So when we started, you know, doing shows or we're helping with an album sale or just connecting people, that was always a big thing for me. And I love connecting people, and that's been one of my biggest strengths. So there's a lot of things that I help, you know, with, and I don't publicly need credit for it, but I did play a lot of big roles. You know, it could have been somebody that got out of jail or went to jail or a funeral. Like, I played a role in a lot of things. So mm-hmm. It's more than just me being somebody at a store taking care of a customer.
Right. And to just let the viewers know, you can go to Exclusive and you can get you a fresh outfit, a fresh pair of shoes, a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I mean, back then you could have got anything, really. So we were one-stop shop.
One-stop shop, for sure.
Like, you could have came by me and got a bucket of laundry detergent, and then you could have got a snakeskin leather hat, you know, or a pelly or whatever. So,
yeah.
Robin jeans. So we kind of had a little bit of everything.
Early in my DJing career, you know, I was DJing with Meal Ticket, you know, at those Star Bar, you know, Exclusive 773 sponsored events. So yeah, tell us about that. How did you get into promoting concerts?
Concert started in 2012 with Yo Gotti. There's a guy I used to cash out back then. His name was Nose, who actually got killed the same day that we had Yo Gotti come. So this guy was somebody that I knew at the store for bringing merch and just cashing out. I never knew him on no street shit. You know, it's an older gentleman, never had no issues. So he's like, yo, let's do this thing. We can sell tickets out of your store. We'll bring Yo Gotti to the store. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm with it, you know. We bring Gotti to the store. Louis there. Everything's going good. Gotti's giving the kids money. He even decides to leave through the front. He didn't want to leave through the back. Like, he wanted to actually leave through a crowd of people. Gotti's leaving. I take a picture with this guy Nose, and I go back in the store to grab my keys, getting ready to go to WGCI for a press run. Next thing you know, the whole store's getting shot up. And I'm looking at the camera, I'm thinking, we're gonna get robbed for the ticket money or something. Because we were selling so many tickets at that time. I'm thinking people wanted to rob the store because I see people jumping over the counter and everybody ducking and screaming. And they put a hit on this guy. And they shot him so many times, like they had to tow the car with him. Like it was like a real bad scene. And we got shut down from the city of Chicago. And then I took a break, and then after that, my next show was with Fredo Santana and them. So I had Fredo and all them. And these guys did a no-show. Well, actually, they came late. So the customers were pissed. And then I really started with Bibby and Herb. So we had a show together for $500. Okay. Mind you, Lil Bibby and Herb's at $100,000 now. But back then, you know, this is early on. So we had them back then, 500, and you know, for the past 9 years, me and Herb been doing shows ever since, and we never had a legal contract even. Like our word is our word. He'll give me a drop. If I tell him I'm gonna pay him, I'm gonna pay him. And then, you know, our biggest show that we had was 75,000, and now we're working on one for 100,000. But you know, it's a lot of issues in the city of Chicago because the city doesn't allow these guys to perform, which sucks because it's like, an out-of-town artist comes, they roll on the red carpet, they getting paid way more money, they let them perform, and then our own people in Chicago can't perform, and it's like they block us out. Even myself, I couldn't do birthday parties downtown. They're like, oh no, it's high potential for a shootout. I'm like, how the fuck is it gonna be a shootout? I never had a shootout at any of my concerts or events. And we had issues where, even recently with Boss Top, we had a show in August, and last second, Chicago police shut it down. And it sucks because it's very unfortunate that the artists just can't make money, you know, legally performing. They're not on no gang-banging street shit. Like, look, they playing their music, getting the fuck out, or selling some merch. But there's definitely like a blackball in Chicago.
And that show that you spoke about, that was out in Joliet, right?
Yeah, it was at the Forge.
So the Chicago police was able to shut down some of Joliet?
Chicago police got involved. You know, I had shows over there for the past 5 years, and I never had any issue. And other Chicago artists performed as well. Duck had a show there before. Dirk had a show there before. So there's never been like a shootout or an altercation to where like they're like, okay. But yeah, they canceled it on them.
So do you think that show got canceled because of the negative stigma O Block has?
Yeah, of course. I definitely feel there is a hip-hop police, and I feel like they do target these guys. That's why, you know, even recently with Rolling Loud, you've seen that they were telling artists in New York not to perform or not to show up. So there's definitely like a hip-hop police, and a lot of artists have a target on their back, no matter what.
For sure. Yeah, man. Like I said, I remember them was the good days with them concerts at the Star Bar for sure.
Yeah, we did a lot at Star Bar.
Herb and Bibby, Rico Reckless. Who else used to bring out? I remember
we did Famous Dex.
Famous Dex,
Louis, Twista.
Yeah. I remember the Famous Dex one. Yeah.
Katie got bands.
Yeah. Like
Queen Key.
Yeah.
Tink.
Bo Deal. Everybody.
Yeah.
For real.
Mikey Dollars. Like, one way or another, somebody, like I said, I've been involved with so many different artists in so many different ways. So
yeah, and giving them the stage to perform was definitely, because not even just the big names that you book, but you got to think about the you know,
the up and comers,
right? Who will perform in front of them.
Rondo's the one that put me on with Lupe Fiasco, because Rondo at that time, you know, he didn't have no music out like that. You know, he used to come by me at the store. I used to look out for him. I used to make him his little shirts like, oh, Steve, I got a video coming up, and I need a Team 600 shirt. Okay, cool, I got you. And one day, like, he's like, man, I'm about to shoot this video with Lupe. I'm like, man, stop fucking lying. You know, Lupe. And he came with Lupe. And I ended up building a relationship with Lupe through Rondo. And then even 6ix9ine, you know, was a fan of Rondo's.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know that, but
that's where you got
at one point, 6ix9ine tried to, like, you know, put money on his books through his brother Swirl. There's a lot of stuff like behind the scenes that people don't know about. And then I thought it was funny.
They didn't accept it, huh?
Yeah. I can't say that they did or didn't. That would be him to come on.
Look, that would be crazy, right?
Yeah. But I can tell you that. No, but definitely, it was funny because for him to get on that, like, you're inspired by these people,
Yeah.
and now you're trying to diss them.
Yeah, right, nowadays. But I ain't gonna lie, the thought of 6ix9ine putting money on Rondo books is kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, yeah, he definitely did. Or has. Like, I'm not going to say
right.
that.
What's up? That's what's up. So let's talk about the downfall.
Well, downfalls, we got beefs amongst the city. So I'm in the middle, like, okay, I'm cool with him and I'm cool with him. And they both come to see me. So there's been times where people would come see me back then, and now it's like they're at the crossroad. And now if he don't act upon it, now he's a bitch and he got to do something about it. So I had plenty of situations that would have been like a huge, like, viral world star shooting and movement, but thank God, you know, that never happened. Another downfall from the store, you know, I ended up catching a case. So I used to cash out, you know, that was another thing that I was known for as well, you know, like, I'm buying shit for a low, I'll sell it for a low, like, just keep it moving. Mm-hmm. And motherfuckers put the city on me or whatever, and then end up catching my first felony case.
Right.
Which sucks because, like, it really limits you, you know, because anything now, like, if I want to go to Canada or I want to open up another business under my name, like, that plays a role.
So exactly what did they charge you with?
At that time, I got charged with continuing a criminal enterprise.
Okay.
Which was me, like, using the store to buy and sell stolen goods.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
A lot of pawn shops get hit with that.
Right. And what was the sentencing that came behind that?
Well, because it was a state case and it was my first time, so it was probationable. I just had, like, house arrest and a restitution to pay. The community stuff I was doing regardless, so they would have told me, hey, you got 500 hours community service, like, I'm doing that, you know, without the regardless.
Right. And so what were some of the things that you learned from that situation?
I mean, really just, like, slow down, because at that point I feel like I got comfortable and just, I don't know, I didn't think nothing of it, just got so accustomed to it. And now I think long term. So I can't look for today, I gotta look for tomorrow, you feel me?
Okay. And so what happened to the store exclusive after, the case?
So, obviously, I'm not gonna lie, like, to me that was like an adrenaline. So if I was back in the store right now in Chicago like that, I would probably be doing the same shit, keep it real.
Right.
And we just parted ways, you know. Obviously, I'm not gonna risk my freedom now because second time there ain't no fucking probation, and the guidelines are 4 to 15. So I'm not gonna risk my freedom to make a couple dollars. You know, I could make money not being at the store, which I have done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went from working 60, 70 hours a week to waking up to whenever now. You know what I'm saying?
So you and your business partner, you all part ways.
Yeah, we parted ways.
Because the store is still open.
Huh?
Because the store is still open, right?
Store's still open,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're doing their thing, and I'll show love at a certain amount. You feel me? Because I'm at a point in my life now. It's kind of like it's give and take. So I'm not gonna keep being the giver. You know, like, I'm gonna give what I receive as well. So if I feel like I'm not getting something, I'm gonna adjust to that. And it's nothing personal. Like, that's just business.
Well, one thing's for sure, if I'm ever driving down 87th Street and I drive past Exclusive, you always look at it and be like, like you see Steve when you look at that store, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, you gotta think about it. I brought a lot of people to that store over the years, like, I had athletes, entertainers, comedians, people's favorite artists come on the block, and nobody else shed light like that on the, in that area. And the people over there, they used to love it.
Yeah. A lot of connections was made at that store, I made a lot of connections at that store, you know what I'm saying? You've definitely helped connect the dots in a lot of different people's careers here in Chicago, So I definitely love to tell you that here on DJUTV, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of guests that we have, that then came by way of Steve, so
one way or another, I've been involved.
Yeah, for sure. Tell us about Lincoln Two-Step, right?
So Lincoln, whose real name is Charles, by the way, was a guy that, came by the store one day just looking for help. You know, he didn't come by there like a lot. Everybody used to always come over like, yo, can I get some money or can I make some money or whatever? Because I always give people a chance, no matter who it is.
Right.
So Lincoln came by and dude was like real polite. So I'm like, yeah, you know, you could throw away the garbage or sweep or whatever, make a few dollars. And I remember sending Lincoln one time to this liquor store because I'm like, yo, can you give me this energy drink? You know, because I used to be there fucking 12 hours a day. And then he came back like an hour later. I'm like, damn, where'd you go? He's like, oh, I took the bus to go to Jewel. And I'm like, why'd you go to Jewel? He's like, oh, because the liquor store didn't have your energy drink. But I'm like, I didn't care. Like, you could have just came right back. He's like, no, I want to, you know, get your energy drink. I'm like, damn. So dude was like real genuine. So at that time, we were selling squares, and there used to be a guy in the front. His name was Cadillac that used to sell loose squares. So I'm like, man, and then he used to go by like two-step because that was his dance move, like two-step. So I'm like, I'm going to call him like Lincoln two-step. And a lot of people played Lincoln in that area. You know, like people at that time went to Sprint, got iPhones, you know, burned his name. People were taking his social, putting utility bills under there, not paying it. So I felt like with Lincoln, I wanted to like boost him to like shit on everybody and just piss everybody off. So, you know, I used to buy him hookers, let him ride in. If somebody comes with a nice car, have him pull up on the block, get him nice outfits, make sure he always has money in his pocket. You know, he'd always be like, oh man, let me borrow 20, let me borrow 20. But I never took the money back from him.
Right.
And then with the internet, it's kind of like Vine was popping back then. There was no, you know, TikTok or whatever. And I'll catch him in the moment, like he'll jab the fuck out or say some off the wall shit. And people used to love it. And next thing you know, like I'm with everybody who's blowing up in Chicago, they taking a picture with Lincoln, calling him Unc. So everybody's like, man, I gotta go to exclusive. I gotta take a picture with Unc. That's Lincoln. Or I gotta go see Steven, you know, promote my tape. So it's like we went hand to hand. But I went through a lot of issues with that as well because people are like, oh well, you know, you're exploiting him, you're taking advantage. I'm like, well, first things first, everything has this man's consent. Second, the man was homeless at times, and I got him an apartment. And I always made sure he ate, had money in his pocket, had a phone. I got him a coat. One year I got him a Pelly. They attacked him and took his coat. You know, like there was a lot of goofy shit that would happen over there that I didn't, you know, publicize. So, and I left his page alone. Like, yeah, I created his page, but I wouldn't post on his page without his consent. And it's not monetized or anything. So, and I could show you that right now. So I don't see or feel like, oh, I took advantage of Lincoln or I exploited Lincoln. Like, if you cared about him so much, then you would have made sure he's straight, or make sure he got a ride, or make sure he got food to eat, or a phone to call somebody. Like, I just seen him actually the other day for the first time in years.
Really?
Yeah, because, you know, he ended up getting back with his wife, and when he got back with his wife, she didn't want him, like, she hated the social media limelight, because on the internet, he's like the fucking Mac and a pimp, and I respected that. Like, okay, Lincoln, like, I'm not going to try to come between you and your wife. You know, she don't want you online, you're not going to be on the internet. And I'm going to let you be. But if you need something, call me. So as soon as his wife passed, I'm like, what do you need, Lincoln? He's like, oh, can you make me some T-shirts, you know, for the funeral? I'm like, here. Took care of it right away. What else you need? Sent him a few dollars. So when I picked him up the other day, you know, got him a nice new winter coat, some new Jordans, skull cap. Obviously, I had to give him some Newports. You know, that's his specialty. And gave him some money. So,
so I know you've been taking care of Lincoln. You know what I'm saying, y'all?
You know firsthand. That's not like
sure.
something like people. And that's the thing. I always would tell people, like, you have to be there to see it. Don't look at social media. Look at like what's going on behind the scenes in real life. Yeah,
because you know haters go hate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, of course.
And I'm actually glad you had touched on that without even me having to ask, because I have heard people say those things.
Yeah, no, I have that issue with meal ticket before even. Like, okay, I'm helping somebody out. Why are you separating it with this race shit? Like, I don't play the race card or religion card. You know, like, I'm Muslim, and I'm dressing up as Santa to help the kids. And I'm doing stuff for Easter or whatever holiday. Or I look at people as people, that's it. I'm not going to treat you better or worse because of a color or religion. I'm going to treat you good because I want to be treated good. And I've been firm on that for years. And people, they always try to like separate me by that. Like, oh, well, black or white or Arab or no, like, We're all people.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely never looked at you in that way. You like the DJ Khaled of our city, you know what I'm saying? So whatever nationality you are, you know, like it really don't even matter.
I never really embraced like, oh, I'm Palestinian and Greek. I really don't. I'm Steve. That's it, you know, like I don't want you to treat me better because I'm Muslim or I'm Palestinian, or treat me worse. Like just treat me as me. That's it.
Tell us about your newest business venture, right? Said you brought something for me. Smoke Valley.
Yeah, so Smoke Valley, we just opened up in Belvedere. It's like the one-stop shop for all the smokers. We have a huge selection of everything. You know, if you into glass, you into blunts, papers, vapes, cigars. Okay. So you got to come visit me one day, and you'll see.
Word. You say it's out in Belvedere?
Yeah, Belvedere, Illinois.
How far is that? What
From here about an hour. It's a suburb before Rockford. Rockford's probably like the biggest thing that's near it.
Oh, Woods gonna love all these frontos.
Nah, you good.
So we got the turkey drive coming up this Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Now, how many news interviews you did today? I mean, this week.
I just did, honestly, WGN. I really don't go to press because I felt like over the years, press would come to me every time at the store there was a shooting or some bullshit going on. And I'd be like, well, you guys don't shed light on the positive thing going on in the neighborhood. Because when we have 1,000 people getting book bags or turkeys or toys, and there's no fights or nobody getting shot, you're not shedding light on that.
Right.
But now you're shedding light on, oh, 3 people got shot and just a lot of negativity. So over the years, I really never worked with the press. I kind of like wanted it to be organic. I'm not against it, but I feel like they know what's going on. You know, a lot of them follow me. It could be Twitter, it could be Instagram, or it could be somebody that shared the post that they follow. So I leave it up to them, honestly.
For sure. Well, man, I'm glad you came here to, you know, part of your press run. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing to have you for sure, right? So we definitely gonna make sure that we promote the turkey drive, you know, and celebrate 10 years. That's a milestone accomplishment. And also tell you thank you, you know what I'm saying, for taking the initiative to take care of our community when others don't, you know?
No, thank you.
You've done a great job, you know what I'm saying? And 10 years is impressive.
I always felt like the people made me who I am. And even though I'm not there, I've been gone for almost 4 years, I still go back to the neighborhood to help the people because that's something I'll never forget. And I'm always in debt with the people, regardless, good or bad. If I have a chance to help give back, I'm always going to help give back and get people involved. I'm like firm on that.
So tell us about Sunday, because I heard you say earlier off camera that it's different locations to.
Yeah, so we have 10 locations. Okay. 9, but potentially 10. We're out throughout the city of Chicago. We're going to be in Pilsen, West Side, East Side, South Side. Each location has a time frame. Depending on the location, how the flow goes, we're passing out hundreds of turkeys at each spot. We also have other giveaways and special guests as well. So hopefully we have a good turnout, you know. I look forward to everything being positive more than negative.
And for those that, I mean, it might be too late by the time this video come out, but for those that want to donate.
I'll be working on the toy drive by then.
Tell us how to get ready for the toy drive.
At that time, we'll be doing a toy drive, most likely citywide as well.
Okay.
And yeah, if you want to participate, you could hit me up on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, exclusive 773, Snapchat, and whatever you want to contribute. You want to come volunteer, you want to come donate toys, you want to put up some bread. The option is yours. We're always grateful, and we also always appreciate everything from anybody.
For sure. Any closing remarks and shout outs you want to give?
Man, shout out to Chicago. Without Chicago, I wouldn't be here today. You know, I love everybody. Shout out to all the artists. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody for helping us come together. I hope and pray that moving forward, we could get closer and stronger together instead of being separated.
Well, there you have it. Steve, exclusive 773. This is DJUTV. And shout out to Warrior T Productions.
DJ, you go crazy.